Shalom, everyone. I'm coming with a video to explain to you guys that black people are not Native Americans. Black people weren't American Indians. Well, the context of a lot of these YouTubers say. You got YouTubers Monte Moose, Legendary Top Cats, and Dane Calloway that always talk about that we are Indians. Now, if once you learn of what they really are trying to say, and they know, I feel like they know. Monte Moose, I don't think he knows because he looks like he just watches people videos and just posts stuff. And but Dane Calloway and Legendary Top Cats know. It's just Dane Calloway he hasn't went in his heart and you know, spoke the truth. He hasn't went somewhere in his heart. He won't tell that he's a European or blacks are Europeans and Asian slaves, right? So, you know, but Top Cats, oh man, he's made a big profit off. He has his own book called "I'm Not Black." I'm not black. I'm Indian, and he's already got some type of dumb ancestry record saying, "Oh, well, here it says guy says Indian." Well, what? Well, Lex Will's already explained him. And what I'm gonna say that you're gonna understand that he's trying to fool you, take your money, take your time, and lie to you to your face and get you destroyed overall because you gotta believe in the Most High, high, high. But so first, black people are not Indians. A Native American is the Amerindian, which is the Siberians that crossed the Siberian Peninsula into the North American continent, aka the Canaanites from the branch of Ham, who is the straight hair, dark skinned man, not Negro, straight hair, dark skinned man, but almost black. And I'm gonna say this to you, Top Cats, if you're listening. Straight hair, not the nappy hair you be making fun of people on their live stream. You be telling people, "Oh, you got nappy hair." Well, guess what, Top Cats? You call yourself Indian. The people they owned, which were Negroes, had nappy hair, man. Had nappy hair. So you could be the Indian. That's why this is important. But yeah. So they crossed the Siberian Peninsula and settled in the land of America, which became the land of Canaan. Not the Israelites. Or it could be, but if they were, if it was Israelites, those Israelites were already out of the land or dead, most likely. But the people the Europeans found in America were Indians, Native Americans, straight-haired people, aka Colombians, I don't want to say that, Hispanics, Indians, I mean Hindus, stuff like that. It's the straight hair people with dark skin, not Negroes. And I'm gonna show you some examples. You see that? This is a Native American. This man's skin is, to be honest, about my skin color. Now I'm not jet black, but I'm dark brown. Sometimes when I get into the suntan, I can get that color, but he's literally almost my skin color. If you want to see my skin color, go to the shorts and all that. You can see me. But that's the Native American. And you look at the difference between me, you, and others that's watching video, we have afro hair. We don't have straight hair. And if you do have straight hair, I want you to, if you're a woman and you have straight hair, I want you to go a few days without straightening it and let it just wake up in the morning, pick it out, and tell me if it still looks like this right here. And if you know someone in your family, that's great. That might be them, but we're talking about you, Negro. Do you look like this? Is it thin like that? Is your nose thin like, see how dark he is? Is your nose like that? And if you do know somebody, right? Or if you're like that, then you're mixed. But, and that's fine. Nothing wrong being mixed. See to your father, right? uh the lips. Oh, a lot of us got full lips, right? Is this the Native American? Are you Indian or are you Negro? So that's the Native American that was here. The European saw. Now, who are you if you're just a Negro? So, if you didn't know, um, a lot of us Negroes have. I mean, a lot of us Negroes have British, French names. If you didn't know, I made a YouTube shorts explaining that black people. I mean, the original French, British, the original French, British, Spanish that colonized the Americas, especially United States, were black people. We have the French and the New French. The French were the Negroes with French last names. The British, 13 colonies, yeah. White people be saying, or Caucasians be saying, oh, we founded America, blah, blah. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. That was black people. But it was a different group of black people that had more, that were black, but they had straight hair or curly straight hair. So imagine a Negro, but so you know how some black women be wearing weaves, and then it looked like people like that, but the black women you be seeing wearing weaves, that's not their real hair. The ones that were colonized, that's their real hair. So but the Negroes colonized the Americas. So if you're a black American, right? If you don't know any slavery in your family, then you're more likely either descendant of the colonizer that colonized the Americas, aka the French, if you have a French last name, the British, if you have a British last name, Danish, you have a Danish, like a Danish Dutch last name, you're of the colonizer, or you're of the people that came and settled in the Americas, or settled in the first 13 colonies, like Germantown. And I made a video about the first Tyson that ever came into the Americas, which was in Germantown, Philadelphia. He was a black person. I've already showed evidence of that because his descendant was a slave owner in Maryland. So, yeah. Now, not all the people had slaves because to have slaves, you have to be rich. So those black Europeans who colonized, they and they weren't just black. You had some pale ones, white, because people mix and stuff. But I'm just trying to tell you, the majority of the Europeans were Negro. But those, Europeans who settled made towns, aka Germantown, towns in Maine, Augusta, Maine, Philadelphia, North Carolina, Georgia. All those were Negroes who left Europe to come live in the USA. But guess what? You also had French that were already here, and those were Negroes. You had Spanish, those were Negroes. And if they weren't dark, they mixed with white slaves and turned lighter and became phenotypically more mixed or white or lighter, right? See to your father, right? So same thing in the Caribbean. All the blacksmiths that came to Jamaica and Bahamas, they colonized it and settled and made areas and also had black slaves. So you have black colonizers and immigrants that came to America before the white people came. So then you also have black slaves. Slaves, okay? The black slaves were were owned by black people, and they were also owned by Native Americans, like this person, this right here. So, and I'm gonna give you proof. We have the Dawes rules, right? Freedmen. Okay, sorry guys, let me X this out. We'll do Cherokee, since y'all love to say your Cherokee, and then we'll do Blackfoot next. The Dawes Rolls are a list of Cherokee people who were accepted for tribal membership between 1898 to 1914. The rolls, also known as the final rules. All right. Oh, my bad. Freedmen. So all these Negroes you see on this document, these were people who were freed by these people. These people owned us, man. Owned y'all, owned us. You know, they owned us. See all these are Negroes. Some people, some white people too, but Negroes owned by these people. And you got people like Montemoose, Top Cats, and Dan Calloway saying that we are all Indian. Absolutely not. And remember, that definition that they be talking about, that the Native American used to be called the American Indian. Well, let me explain that too. So, when George Washington and the American explorers came over and took America, right? And then they fought for the land against the British and won, and they kept the land, which were black folk, right? Did you know that they became Americans? So when they colonized it and made the United States of America, it became America, which made them American. And then the Indians, right, that were trying to keep their land had to fight. Because there were some that they were allowed to keep their land, some weren't. Ones had to fight against the United States American Army. And of course they lost because guns versus bow and arrows and spears. But remember, so those Negroes, right, that colonized, they fought against those Native Americans. And guess what? They won. And guess what happened? When you mix uh, a person who came from Europe and called themselves American with the Indian, what do you get? And a half American and half Indian. So that's why they say that they're American Indian instead of a Native American. And Lex Will's already explained that too. Shout out to Lex Will. But you see that? And I'm gonna get to this part. I gotta explain this part, guys. So Richard Humphreys, right? He's a black Quaker or black European Catholic that came over and part of colonization, right? Found a school for African Americans. So this is a black European who came and was part of the first people of Germantown. I already explained how the first Tyson was also a black Quaker in the Germantown. So that's a black European who became American, and I'm pretty sure, right, just like the rest of them, mixed with these people and created what they call Montemoose and dumbass Top Cats. Let me not say that, but Top Cats saying that they're Indian. No, it used to be American Indian. These are Indians. Top Cats is the American Indian. Montemoose say he's the American Indian, but I don't believe so. I don't know if he knows what he's talking about. Dan Calloway, American Indian, right? Those were the people who colonized with Richard Humphreys America, and they mixed with this Indian. And they'll say, well, the first man here, the first person in America was dark. Well, if you want to go by that argument, look at this person. Super dark, but he ain't Negro. Sorry. Uh-oh. This man, super dark. Dark, kind of dark, but super dark on the right. Still not Negro. And I'm gonna show you some other uh Indians that were dark. These are Arula, the Arula tribe in India. They share an ancestor, Ham, in the Bible. I think they're I'm not sure if they're Canaanites or Ham, but they're all share an ancestor named Ham, or his real name is Cham. And they have straight hair, and they're not Negro. And look how dark they are. And did y'all know that these Canaanites used to be that dark as well? So if they say, "Oh, the American Indian was dark," yeah, they were dark like this, not like us. But basically, The European came over, mixed with these people, and they called themselves American Indian. That's what American Indian is. Because you got a European who colonized America, and then after he colonized it, he called himself American. And when he mixed with the defeated the tribe, an Native American tribe, we can do the Chickapewa and the Blackfoot or Blackfeet. After he defeats them and take one of their women and rapes them, or not I can't use that word, defiles them, right? Defiles them. They make the American Indian because you're got the American man, and which is the black man or the black Negro European, and then you got the Indian, which is the dark skinned Indian or light skinned Indian, and they come together and make a child, and that child is now American Indian. Which Top Cats I think he is. He's probably that, since he always loved to talk about nappy heads and stuff like that. He loves talking about nappy heads, and I know why now. This person was a Negro with straight hair, and Top Cats he always has his hair low. So he's the Indian that colonized us with the nappy heads, right? And now where do black now, since you already know who the European colonizer is, which is some of us, and the Indians are. What are we? Negroes. What are we? Well, guys, we have to go find out. If you were a slave, you were probably expelled from Europe. No, you were expelled from Europe into Africa, North Africa, and then the black West Africans over there are black European colonizers too, because they're colonizers too. For example, Senegal, they were colonized by the French, but those people speak French, and they're actually French. So they're the French that colonized Senegal area, and they called it Senegal, and they ended up selling you to French in America, the black French in America. So the black Negroes that weren't no any colonization in their family were slaves. Afro slaves. We were slaves from Africa. Now, just because we were slaves from Africa, does that mean that we're African? No. We are Asian. Shem is the Afro Asian. Lex have already explained that. We are the Afro Asian. If you were a black American slave, you're more likely from the land of Siam in Thailand, which is where Jerusalem was, where the 10 tribes of Israel was. And then you have some black Americans that are Edomites because Jacob mixed with, Edom mixed with Jacob during the Holy Roman Empire, uh, Christianizing the Gaul. So you got some Edomites within the Jacob bloodline as well, and so a lot of us could be Edomites because the Armenians, the Syrians, owned Medes, which are white people, white Americans, and they also own Chaldeans, which are a mix of it. The Judeans, which were the 10 tribes of Israel, and then you also had some Edomites within and Moabites within the slavery. But majority Black Americans that were slaves are most likely Israelites from the country of Siam, which is now called Thailand, and they had a temple which was also known as Jerusalem in the 16 to 1800s called Ayutthaya Haya, which is mentioned in the creator's name, Haya Haya. So you are the Asian slave that was sold from the Edomite Africans of West Africa, and you came from Asia. So Black Americans are Afro-Asian. Even the Black Edomites, Afro-Asian. Motherland is in Asia, not Africa. Africa is the land of Ham, which is the straight-haired person. So, if you call yourself American Indian, you're basically the European who mixed with the Native American and made a half half European and an Indian child. Or you didn't do all that and you're just a immigrant or colonizer that was part of the colonization of America and you're just a Negro here, or you were a Negro owned by Native Americans, which were these people, or you were owned by the Black European, aka Richard Humphreys, Anthony Johnson. We know Anthony Johnson, Black Europeans. And also, white people were also owned by the black Europeans and also the Native Americans. That's why a lot of Native Americans are pale like this woman, because they had white slaves as well and they became lighter. Same thing with the European. A lot of colonizers became lighter because they mixed with white slaves. So, but yeah, we're probably gonna make a part two of this. Black people are not Indians. If you are, then you were the slave owner and the colonizer. Hi, hi.